Hello students, in this video I will explain digestive system, figures in digestive system. But before that you should memorize the definition of digestive system, and we should know that digestive system have two parts, digestive tract and digestive glands. The organs that food pass through them, like we see it, mouth, esophagus, stomach, then small intestine, then large intestine, after that rectum and anus. That's called digestive tract because food passes through them. When you eat, the food in your mouth goes to esophagus, then goes to stomach, then goes to small intestine, then large intestine, then rectum and anus. But in the figure, you can also see liver, then you can also see gallbladder, which is the gallbladder, that one is liver. The yellow one is pancreas, and the salivary glands in your mouth, which is here, salivary gland. These four organs, we call them digestive glands because they help the process of digestion: salivary gland, liver, gallbladder, and pancreas. You should know the name of each organ and which one points what. This one is stomach, this one is liver, so you should know it. If we come back of digestive system, we have tract and gland. The digestive tract from mouth to anus is 9 meters long, and if you talk about digestive system, it's for breaking down food into nutrients that body can use it. The nutrients by small intestine are absorbed, goes to blood vessels, then to cells to give us energy, to allows us to grow, to allows us to build new cells or to repair for any function that cells need. Digestion is the process. Digestive system are the organs, but digestion is the process. Either it's mechanical or chemical. When food breaks, crushes, mashes, it's mechanical. When food, large molecules of food becomes nutrients that can absorb it by small intestine, that digestion we call it chemical digestion. If you see digestion, it says it can be mechanical, it could be chemical. We said that to become nutrients, the nutrients are substances in food that body needs for growth, for maintenance, and for repair. Three major types of nutrients to give us energy is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and they make up the most of food that we eat. There's something else in this figure. You can see these scissors, we call them enzymes. What do they do? There's a long chain of protein enzymes in digestive glands that make them. These enzymes can cut large molecules into small molecules at the end till it becomes nutrients, which we in this figure that's amino acid. So when large molecule becomes small enough to be nutrient and can be absorbed, go to bloodstream, that's it happens by enzymes. Enzymes are the scissors that do that. Okay, where does digestion begin? Digestion begin at mouth. When you chew the food becomes easier to swallow and easier to digest. That's why chewing food is good. This figure, know the parts. We have enamel. It's the hardest material in the body that protects the soft tissues beneath teeth. Beneath teeth, there are soft tissues and nerves. Enamel protects the soft tissues and nerves beneath teeth. Then teeth, it says break and grind food. The outermost layer of teeth, we call it enamel. Enamel protects the nerves and softer material inside the tooth. So the question might come back and say, what does enamel do? Enamel protects the nerves and softer material inside the tooth. How many types of teeth do we have? There are 4 types of teeth: molars, premolars, incisors, canines. Incisors, canines for shredding food, molars for grinding food, premolars for mashing food. The figure of teeth is important. These these two that you see are incisors, that one canines, then these are premolars, the last one are molars. So molars, premolars, canines, and incisors. Um, After that, we talk about saliva. In mouth, we have saliva, the liquid inside our mouth. We call it saliva. Saliva is produced by salivary glands, and inside saliva, there's a liquid. There's enzyme that breaks down carbohydrate into simple sugar. So the question may come back and says, what's inside saliva? You say enzymes. So these enzymes, what do? You say they break down carbohydrates into simple sugar. So the breakdown of carbohydrates nutrient starts in mouth. In mouth, saliva breaks down food chemically, and teeth breaks down food mechanically. So in mouth, we have both mechanical digestion and chemical digestion because the teeth breaks, crushes, mashes the food, and enzymes cut carbohydrate into simple sugar. So both type of digestion happens inside mouth. After mouth, we have esophagus. What's esophagus? It's the long straight tube that connects pharynx to stomach. Know the definition with spelling. Human have human adult have 32 permanent teeth. The figures you should know all. That figure, we see that organ, its stomach, and above stomach is esophagus. Then after stomach, small intestine starts or begins. Stomach and digestion. What's the definition of stomach? It looks like a sac-like organ. It's between esophagus and small intestine, and also breaks down food. How? By It breaks down food into a liquid, we call it chyme, by three actions. By the actions of muscles, when muscles in stomach contracted, and also by making enzyme and acids. So three actions break down food in stomach. Actions of muscles and making enzymes and acid. If you look at the stomach, the question says, what two things happen to food in stomach? The food that you eat goes to esophagus, then goes to stomach. In stomach, the food stores there for a while, for a few hours, till it becomes chyme. But how it becomes chyme? The stomach squeezes the food by muscular contraction, because stomach is made up of muscles. When muscles contract, they squeeze the food, break down food mechanically. But also the wall of stomach have tiny glands that make enzymes and acids to break down food, but the acid can also kills bacteria. After a few hours, the food, by actions of mechanical digestion and chemical digestion, the food becomes a liquid, soupy mixture. We call it chyme. So it's chyme, the food that has been reduced or broken down to a soupy mixture called chyme. After that, chyme is too acidic, cannot go to small intestine all at once, so it goes to small intestine slowly. Between small intestine, you see here, between small intestine and stomach, there's something here. It's called valve. It's like a door. Each time it opens and closes, only a few amount of chyme goes to small intestine because chyme is too acidic. So this door opens and closes each time few amount of food goes to small intestine. Not food, chyme. Okay. Inside small intestine, what happens there after chyme went to small intestine? What happens there? Because chyme is too acidic, it can break down the wall of small intestine. So the chyme is gonna mix with other fluids, such as the fluids from liver and fluids from pancreas, to be less acidic and to have more time. That's why chyme goes to small intestine slowly, to have more time to mix with the fluids from pancreas and liver. So what happens in small intestine? Chyme goes to small intestine, Um, Fluids from liver, which is bile, goes to small intestine. Fluids that pancreas make, which is pancreatic fluid, goes to small intestine. So if um, if that small intestine, what goes there? Chyme enters a small intestine. Bile, which liver makes it, goes to small intestine. Pancreatic fluids goes to small intestine. These three liquids, the chyme, the bile, and pancreatic fluid, they all meet inside small intestine. But chyme has came from stomach. Bile, liver has made it. Pancreatic fluid is came from pancreas. So pancreas sends pancreatic fluid to small intestine. Liver sends bile to small intestine. And chyme, stomach sends chyme to small intestine. In small intestine, these all mix till the chyme breaks down completely to become nutrients. Then these nutrients are going to be absorbed by villi in the wall of small intestine and goes to blood stream so the body can use it. Okay, let's go for the questions answered by yourself. Then we talk about pancreas. Pancreas is the organ that lies behind. Where's pancreas? It lies behind stomach and makes two things. So where's pancreas? It says it lies behind stomach. Okay, we know now. We know the location. It lies. It's behind stomach. We have that's stomach. Behind stomach we have pancreas. Okay, what does pancreas do? Pancreas makes digestive enzymes, which we call it um, pancreatic fluid, and also makes hormones that regulate sugar level. I explained pancreas with that diagram. That's pancreas lies behind stomach. Pancreas can work in two systems, in digestive system and also in endocrine system. In digestive system, how does pancreas work in digestive system? By making a liquid called pancreatic fluid. That pancreatic fluid, I explained it before. I said the pancreatic fluid from pancreas goes to small intestine. What's inside pancreatic fluid? Contains enzymes which are scissors which cut chyme, and also contains bicarbonate. Bicarbonate is a liquid that makes chyme to be less acidic. So pancreatic fluid from pancreas goes to small intestine, which have two things in that liquid, enzymes and bicarbonate. Enzymes inside pancreatic fluid cut chymes even more to be nutrients, and bicarbonate inside the pancreatic fluid neutralize the acid in chyme. Because chyme is too acidic, the bicarbonate neutralizes it, balances it, makes it to be less acidic. If you look at the endocrine system making hormone that regulates blood sugar. So pancreas works into a system. It's like someone that works has two part-time job. Works, for example, in the morning works as a market, and in the evening works as a any place. Okay, another market. So pancreas is like that, can work in digestive system. How? By making pancreatic fluid, and can work in endocrine system by making hormones that regulate blood sugar. So I explained everything about pancreas in this figure. Then read the others by yourself. Small intestine, the diameter of it, which is 2.5 centium, and the length is 6 meter. What happens in small intestine? I already explained it to you what happens in small intestine. Small intestine has a great surface area, has a lot of surface area, which can be big as a tennis court. The wall of the small intestine is all covered with finger-like projections. We call it villi. So if that small if that's small intestine have finger projections, we call it villi. But these finger projections also have nutrient absorbing cells on them. Nutrient absorbing cells. When inside small intestine, in here I explain it. Inside small intestine, when chyme, bile, and pancreatic fluid meet, the chyme completely breaks down completely. So chemical digestion happiness, most of the chemical digestion happen in small intestine. Chyme breaks down and completely becomes nutrients. These nutrients are gonna be absorbed by the villi, and villi sends them to blood stream. So if you look at the this figure, it may come in exam. It says, what is this structure? You say villi. And villi are covered with nutrient absorbing cells which absorb nutrients. These cells absorb nutrient and send this to blood stream. Okay, then body can get the nutrients that need that small intestine. Villi are covered with nutrient absorbing cells that pass nutrient to the bloodstream. So that can be the definition of villi too. That's the about small intestine, and read other parts by yourself. If you talk about large intestine and the liver, before large intestine, we have a liver and gallbladder. Let's see what do they do. Why we should count them as a part of digestive system, because food does not pass through them. If we look at the liver, that's liver, and that's the green one is gallbladder, and the yellow one is pancreas. It says liver is the largest organ in the body. Outside the body is skin, but inside the body, the larger organ is liver. What does liver do? Makes bile, stores and filters blood, or we can say stores nutrients, and stores excess sugar as glycogen. When you eat extra sugar, your liver saves it for you as glycogen. So in here, I can make a question. I can say, how's the liver? You say it's large, reddish brown organ. What does it do? Does three functions. Makes bile to break down fat, stores nutrients, and breaks down toxins. If in here I explain it. I said in this figure, I said liver makes bile and sends it to small intestine. So bile goes to small intestine to break down large fat into small fat. Where? In small intestine that happens. But which organ makes the bile? That is liver. So let's come back to the figure. That's liver. That's liver. Let's find the figure of liver. We have it. No, that's stomach. The figure of small intestine. Liver, not small intestine. That's the figure of small intestine. These figures are all included. So liver is large as a football. And also, what are the functions of liver, and how does liver help with digestion? Makes bile to break a fat, but where? In small intestine. Liver makes bile and goes to gallbladder to be stored, then goes to small intestine to mix with the chyme to break down fat inside the chyme into large molecules of fat. And also, any nutrient is extra in our body, liver can store it for us, but when we need it, the liver brings back to the bloodstream, we can use it. So it's just like a storage, stores for us, but when we need it, it brings back to bloodstream. And if we eat anything that has toxin in it, liver breaks down toxin for us. So, but which organ can store the bile? Gallbladder can store it. Where does large fat droplet become small fat droplet? In small intestine. What breaks it down? Bile. But what makes bile is liver. Read the others. If you talk, large intestine is the last part of digestion. Any material that cannot be digested, cannot be broken down, is going to be stool and is going to be stored, compacted, and eliminated by large intestine. So it's large intestine. It says materials cannot be absorbed into the bloodstream. They are going to large intestine. What's large intestine? The organ that can stores, compacts, and eliminates the foods that aren't been digested. They are indigestible material from the body. The diameter of it is it's 7.5 centimeter, but the length is 1.5. The differences between small intestine and large intestine may come in the exam. You should know it's small intestine. The diameter is 2.5, but large intestine it's 7.5. The length of small intestine is 6 meter, but the length of large intestine is 1.5 meters. The large intestine absorbs water, but small intestine absorbs nutrients. These differences between small intestine and large intestine you should know. You can say large intestine have no villi, but small intestine is covered by villi. Undigested materials enter the large intestine as a mixture. Then large intestine, the undigestible food that have been stored, compacted, they become something called stool, then eliminates from body. What makes stool to be soft? Fiber. Fiber can make stool to be soft and helps it to move through large intestine. So what does fiber do? Has two functions. One, keep stool soft and keep its material moving through the body. Then, if you talk about the stool goes to rectum to be stored there, and anus is an opening that removes it from the body. If I ask you, where does digestion end? You say digestion end at large intestine. Why? Because large intestine absorbs water, but after that, rectum is just stores stool. No digestion happen in rectum. Most of the digestion happen in small intestine, and digestion ends at large intestine. These 2 points are so important. Where does most digestion happen? In small intestine. Where does digestion ends completely? In large intestine. What's the last part of large intestine? That's still large intestine. But the last part of large intestine, we call it rectum. And the opening of rectum, we call it anus. Most of the chemical digestion happen in small intestine. Mouth does mechanical and chemical digestion. Esophagus does only mechanical or just pushes the food. Stomach does both mechanical and chemical digestion. Small intestine does chemical digestion. Large intestine absorbs water. Rectum stores stool. Anus removes stool. But gallbladder, pancreas, liver, salivary gland, they do not let food pass through them. They just help the process of digestion. How? Liver by making bile. Gallbladder by storing bile. Salivary gland by making saliva. And also pancreas by making pancreatic fluid. Keep all the information in your mind and good luck.